สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผมครับครับอาจารย์ก็บอกให้เขายกมือนะฮะกดปุ่ม raise hand นะครับครับครับโอเคครับครับครับผมครับนกกับปอนเดี๋ยวอาจารย์จะมีบอกให้บอกให้คนเขา raise hand นะแต่ละคนนะเดี๋ยวดูกัน
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. Tonight, I'll try something different just to give priority to those who want to ask questions first. So anybody who would like to ask question, please raise your hand by turning on the hand icon to let me know that you want to ask question. If you don't want to ask question, you can just don't have to raise anything. So we don't have to waste time saying hello and goodbye. We'll go straight to the question. So there's an hand icon on the bottom of the screen, I think somewhere. So if you want to ask question, please raise the hand icon, turn on the hand icon, indicating that you want to ask question. And I will go to you first. But if there's nobody who wants to ask any questions so far, I'll just go according to the queue, whoever come in first and say hello. So the first one tonight is Alvin. So Alvin, you have any question?
I don't have any question at the moment.
Okay. Alicia Chan from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajaan. My practice is still good. I don't have question at the moment. Just listening tonight. Thank you.
Okay, we have Nining raising her hand. She wants to ask questions, so we'll go to her first. Nining?
Yeah. Good evening, Ajaan. Can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Okay. Ajaan, I have a question. Since we are talking about aging, sickness, and death, then my question is, when I heard if I got cancer and I feel, I'm not afraid, but is it okay? Is it wise if I don't take any treatment for my sickness?
It doesn't matter. You can take or you don't have to take. It's up to you, because you die anyway, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
So
Okay.
it's just a matter how you want to deal with it. You can treat it if you like and go through all the painful that you have to go through during treatment. or you just let the pain arise and then consume your body and then expire your body. So it's up to you.
Okay, thank you.
It's
Because
not, it's not bad karma if you don't want to treat your illness.
Okay, thank you. That's I want to hear, because I don't want to do any bad karma in my rest of my life, in the rest
Yes.
of my.
You just let the body be, let it exist by itself without any assistance from you.
Okay, thank you. Then
Okay, you're
thank you
welcome.
very much.
Okay, those who came in later, if you have any questions, you can let me know by turning on the hand icon. So I'll go to you first if you have any question. If you don't have any question, then I'll just go according to the queue. So the next person on the queue is Kok Seng from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan. I have similar questions as what Ning mentioned, and that is if I have a terminal illness like cancer, I would also not want to seek a treatment and let the cancer take the normal course. That means I will not go for any chemotherapy and so on. But on the other hand, I will also have to deal with the so-called the concerns on with my family members or my friends. They may say that, oh, why am I so stupid? Why do I not want to go for treatment and so on? So how do I deal with this kind of what you call this kind of influence from relatives and friends and family members?
Well, if you know that there's no need to do any treatment, then you should be more smarter than those who tell you to do the treatment.
Sorry, I don't quite get what Prajan said.
You say you worry about other people saying that you are stupid because you don't use treatment. But that's precisely the opposite, because you know that it's useless to treat anything anyway. So you're smarter than them. So why should you worry about what they say?
Okay. I'm just preempting that I may not be strong enough, and when they were saying all these words, sometimes it may be hurtful, and then I was thinking, how should I respond to them?
If you're strong enough to take that, then you should be able to take anything.
Okay, understand.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Prajan.
Okay, next, Professor Ken from Switzerland.
Hello, Ajaan.
You've been away, haven't seen you for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, last week I went back to Scotland to see my mother.
Mhm.
I had to organize a little bit of her care. She's quite old now, so I had to look after her a little bit. But back now, things normal again. But I do have a question in relation to my family. Actually, last week when I was there, there's one individual in my family, a very close family member, who I don't get on with, and who is somehow very aggressive and has really a strong aversion to me for reasons I don't quite understand, because I've never really done anything to warrant this. So the situation is, whenever I go home, it becomes very, very stressful, and I have to avoid this person because, to be honest, they physically could be quite dangerous for me. So I managed to deal with this last week, but it did contemplate how can it come about that such a situation arises, or is it even important to know the reason, or is it just important to deal with it in a good way?
Well, because your mind hasn't yet reached equanimity, so your mind is still under the influence of like and dislike. So when you see something you dislike, you get dukkha, you get feeling bad. But if you practice with a lot of mindfulness and meditation until you get equanimity, then when you meet something that you dislike, you will not be affected by what you meet. So what you need to do is practice more mindfulness and meditation to build up your equanimity. And then also you can use wisdom to help you deal with situation that you dislike by treating every situation like the weather. We don't like snowstorm, but we get them from time to time. So, but we learn to live with them, right? We don't like flooding, but we get them from time to time. So look at everything that you don't like as a natural phenomena, something that you cannot do anything about except just live with it with equanimity, without reacting to it. Just let it be, let it come and let it go. It's anicca, it's temporary, it comes and goes. It's anatta, it's not under your control. If you cannot remain calm, it means you need more equanimity. So you recite mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Don't react to what you come into contact with.
Okay.
Okay, this is what you will do with every situation, whatever. Sickness, aging, death, it's the same way. You have to deal with it, just like seeing people you don't like or getting into a situation you don't like to get into, or somehow you got into. So you just have to maintain calm and equanimity in your mind with the aid of mindfulness and wisdom. You can use wisdom to teach you. This is like the weather. You cannot change. You cannot control. It comes and goes. Soon enough, it will pass away. Things don't last forever. In the meantime, just remain calm. If your mind not calm enough, then just keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto.
Okay.
Understand?
Yes, Ajaan, that was actually the approach I was taking. I found when I was there, I was having to maintain practice very intensely and being very vigilant and mindful all the time to just to stop the mind going, becoming too unsettled. And so it was quite an intense period of practice, but I brought those factors to bear during it, and
Yeah.
it worked quite well. My other question was, is it, I mean, when you come across someone like that, clearly there's animosity. Is it worth trying to dig into the reason for why this has arisen, or do we just treat it as the weather and the way it is, a natural phenomenon?
Yes, I think this is the best way, the direct way to go into the reason why this person has this particular reaction to you. Your reaction to them is history, and it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
You can say it's bad karma. Maybe in the past life you had some bad karma together. And every time you meet, you will always fight. You always at odds with each other. You can never get along.
Yeah, it was quite interesting actually. The situation between this person and me is so bad. When I was there, it reminded me of Tan Ajaan's advice to go into a dangerous place, into the forest, where there are tigers. I felt like I was kind of in that situation, like looking around the next corner to see if he's waiting there. So
so you have to be vigilant. You have to be very mindful.
I was very vigilant the whole time, really.
Which is good. You want to get outside of your comfort zone, then you will be forced to adapt with mindfulness and wisdom.
Yeah, actually, the day before I traveled there, I was warned by someone else, be careful, this could be this could be dangerous. And I thought, okay, should I go or should I not go? But I decided just to go. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Take it as it comes, and I used that approach to overcome that particular obstacle.
You have to look at all the discomfort situation as a test to your practice. How far have you achieved in your practice?
Yeah, that exactly is how I try to do it.
Good. So don't be afraid of any situation. Take it as a challenge, so that you know how far have you gone in your practice.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ajaan.
There is a saying that said, if there's no dukkha, there's no wisdom. Dukkha instigate your wisdom to arise, because you need to use wisdom and mindfulness to deal with the situation, to calm your mind, to keep your mind in equanimity.
Yeah, I had one of Lungtan Mahabua's books with me at the time, and I read exactly that phrase, and that's very helpful.
Yeah. So our goal is to overcome all types of discomfort or bad situation. Because we can, this is what we have to do in order to exist free from dukkha, free from suffering. Because suffering comes from us, not coming from the situation. It comes from our reaction to the situation.
Yeah.
And we didn't know better if we didn't study the teaching of the Buddha. But once we have studied the teaching of the Buddha, we know how to deal with all kinds of situations by just merely acknowledging and not reacting in any way, emotionally, mentally, toward the situation. And this is why we have to train our mind to remain calm in equanimity, to be merely knowing. So that when we come across any situation, we can tell the mind just to remain still, don't react. Because when we react, we are causing dukkha in our mind. But when we don't react, there's no dukkha. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ajaan. It's very helpful.
Welcome. Next, Naomi from Toronto. I haven't seen you a while. How are you?
I'm doing well, again. Thank you.
It's a little bit soft, your voice. Can't hear you.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't get it louder. I'll just try to talk.
Okay,
louder.
now it's good enough now. Just put the microphone close to your mouth.
Yeah, I was at Tisarana Monastery in Canada for 3 months. It was very useful.
Can you try without the microphone? Can you unplug the thing and see if you can use the computer?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, better. I think it's better.
Okay. So I was at Tisarana Monastery for 3 months. It was very beneficial. While I was there, I had a lot of thoughts about just continuing, just staying basically. But there's like a competition between wanting to stay and then wanting to just go home and relax. Once I got home, I relaxed a bit. I felt when I was there, I could see, arising and ceasing of feelings, and it was helpful. But there's also this kind of anxiety that comes with keeping more precepts
your sound come in and off. Sometimes it's just quiet, and sometimes I can hear you. I'm not sure. Maybe it's an internet connection or something.
How about now?
Okay, can hear you
Yeah.
now.
Okay. Okay. I'll just keep it right up my. Yeah. So yeah, I was at Tisarana Monastery in Canada. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
I was there for 3 months, and I found it really beneficial. And I was thinking about staying for a long time, but there's this competition in my mind about just wanting the Dhamma, like the Dhamma part of the mind, and then the part of the mind that just wants to relax and take it easy.
Yes. There's always this struggle between the Dhamma and your defilement. Your defilement want to take it easy, but you know that eventually you'll fall into the trap, fall into dukkha again if you take it easy too long. So maybe if you want to take it easy, maybe take 1 day off or something, but then you should come back and continue on with your struggle, with your practice. Never give up until you finish the work. Or else you might have to you have to go back and start all over again. You lose a lot when you stop practicing. So in order to protect what you have gained so far, you must keep on practicing. You might slow down a bit, reduce the intensity a bit from time to time, but you shouldn't stop entirely altogether. Because there might be days in which you feel stronger, and there might be days that you feel weaker. And on a weaker days, you might not feel like pushing yourself too hard, and you do a little bit more, you do a little less. Maybe instead of meditating, you might reading books, Dhamma books, or just do mindfulness, just walking mindfulness or something. But you should at least be practicing, maybe not as intense as you would like to. But if you go back to sensual pleasure, you know that it will be good in the first few days. But after that, you start to feeling bad from it again. Because it's not the remedy of dukkha, but it's actually increasing more dukkha eventually. So just keep pushing yourself with mindfulness practice, even though you don't feel like doing it. Okay, this is like sloth or torpor, I think. It wants to slow you down. You don't feel like practicing. So maybe reading or studying the biography, the practices of the teachers might inspire you to continue to have more energy to practice. Staying with a teacher who teaches, he will continuously give Dhamma talks to inspire and to energize you. So with our teacher, you would just need to read the books instead of listening to Dhamma talks. This can help you to be more inspired and give you more energy to do the practice. So you should start reading books or listening to Dhamma talk at least once a week or more if you like. It's helpful if you can get it from the masters. Ajaan Chah, Ajaan Mahabua, people like that. Or reading the Sutta of the Buddha, the biography of the Buddha. These are stories that will inspire and help push you on the path. Okay. How's your sis? She's okay?
Yep, she's doing well.
And your mom?
Yeah, they're both doing fine.
Yeah, okay, okay, good. All right. Is that all you like to say?
Yes, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. So go to Kwan Lee Man.
Ajaan, there is a guideline to practice 32 parts and also a guideline to practice decomposition of the body. But how about the contemplation on 4 elements? Is there also any guideline?
Well, there might be somewhere, I don't know, but generally you just have to look at the body, how it is formed and how it decomposes. Then you'll see that it's formed with the 4 elements. And when it decomposes, it returns back to the 4 elements.
But in normal days,
What about it?
the contemplation on 4 elements, we just note the 4 elements at
Yeah, you constantly putting in the 4 elements. You put in the wind element by breathing. You put in the water element by drinking liquid. You're putting in the solid, the earth element by eating solid food, and you're putting the fire element by exposing yourself to the sunlight, the heat. So you're constantly putting in the 4 elements from every day, every moment, and you also exchange the O element. You excrete the O element, and then you take in the new element. When you urinate, you're excreting the O water element, and also the heat, the fire element, because your urine is warm, right? So this is always constantly changing of the 4 elements, input and output. If you study chemistry, you understand. If you study engineering, you understand thermodynamic, I think, or something like that, as Professor Ken. There's input and there's output of mass and energy. You have to be scientific if you want to study the 4 elements. 4 elements are chemistry, You take in hydrogen, you take in oxygen, and then you excrete carbon dioxide, and it's a changing of gases, in and out, and solid and liquid, and temperature, the heat. Is it clear to you now how to study the 4 elements in your body?
Tanja, sorry, I can't hear the last part of Ajaan.
Which last part?
Practice the 4 elements. No, just now I couldn't hear Ajaan.
So what do you want to know?
Yeah, I heard. Now I understand already the input and output and the chemistry.
Okay, just look in terms of chemistry. You take in oxygen, then you put out carbon dioxide when you breathe out. When you breathe in, you take in oxygen. These are gases. These are elements, right?
Yes.
When you take in water, this is the water. You get H2O. Water is H2O chemistry. Hydrogen plus oxygen combined. It's all chemistry, the body. And chemistry is element.
And it's always changing.
Yeah, and keep changing the body. The body will start to first develop and grow when you come out of the womb. But when it reached the maximum point, then it will start to deteriorate, start to decay, start to dissolve, dissolution. And eventually it will stop functioning. And then all the four elements will start to separate. When you die, you don't breathe in any air anymore. So the air inside your body will come out, will evaporate, followed by the heat element, the fire element. Your body becomes cold. And if you leave it further, all the fluid will start to come out from the body. Eventually the body will be dry. The remaining organs will be dry with skeleton, dry everything. And you leave it further, it will then become decay and turn into dust, turn into earth. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
So
Thank you, Dr.
there's no you. You cannot find yourself in the body, right? Which part of the four element belongs to you?
Oh.
Okay. You belong to the knowing element, which is separate from the four element. You're the knowing element. You are the one who thinks, who knows. And this is the other element that comes into possession of the four element. And they work together like twins. The knowing element is the master. The four elements are the servant. The mind tells the body what to do. The knowing element tells the four elements what to do. To walk, to stand, to sit, to lie down, to do things.
So,
But
Ajahn,
go ahead.
so after one passed away, the four elements will go back to the earth, and then the knowing elements will find another
Another body. It will still have craving. But if it's got rid of all the craving, then it doesn't go look for a new body. Because it doesn't need a new body. It's a craving that causes the knowing element to have a body, because you need the body to satisfy your craving, your essential cravings. You need to have the body.
Okay, I understand now. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, I'll go to Christine Coe. Okay, Christine Coe from Penang.
Ajahn, good evening. I come in to pay respect to Ajahn,
Okay.
and I just come out 1 week ago. I went to 8 precepts, so I find the meditation also got improved and understand the knowing also better. Thank you so much, Ajahn.
You should do more.
Yes.
If you want to thank me, you should do more. To show me your gratefulness, you should do more.
Okay, this June I have another going back soon, another 2 weeks.
Okay, we have Nining again. She wants to ask questions. So I'll give her the power.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Nining, you got more questions?
Yeah, Ajahn. With regarding to Kwan Liman question about the four element. So today is Uposatha day. So I do the 8 percep, and this morning I did meditation. So usually even in the air conditioned room, in the first 30 minutes, I always the element, the wind element getting very dominant. I start to sometimes burping, sometimes like so many gas in my body. Many times I I'm farting like that. And then after past 1 hour and more, my body get very warm, and also sometimes sweaty, even in the air conditioned room. So my question is, if I want to study the 4 element, do I need to tell my body that, oh, this is the wind element, oh, this is the fire element? Do I need to say to my body, or just continue pay attention to my breath,
Well, see, the reason why you see the body as a four element is that so that you can leave the body alone, because you cannot control the elements. You cannot control the wind, the earth, the water, or the fire element. They come and go as they like. So if you try to control them, then you can get dukkha. If you don't want to get dukkha, then just leave it alone. Leave
So
them alone.
I just continue pay attention just to my breath.
If you meditate, then you concentrate on your breathing.
So I don't need.
But if you're not concentrating on if you're not meditating and you just live normally, if anything happens to your body, you just say they are the element, and you cannot do anything about it. Just let it be.
But but with know that the 4 element, I think I can cure my body. For example, when my body gets so hot, so I think, oh, I need more liquid. Is it okay, Ajaan, if I treat my body like that in the normal daily life?
Yes, normally you have to look after your body the best way you can, but there'll come to a point where you will not be able to take care of your body. Then you will have to accept that this is because it is not your body, it's not under your control. It's under the control of the natural forces, the 4 elements.
So it means that when I practice my meditation, I don't need to pay attention to that 4 element. I just leave them alone, and I continue just pay attention to my breath. Is it correct?
It's 2 different practices. If you want to meditate, you pay attention to your breath. But if you want to have understanding, you want to have wisdom, then you have to study the nature of the body to see that there is no self. There are just only 4 elements in this body.
Oh, yeah. When I want to practice that 4 elements, so what should I do? What is my object then?
Just to leave the body alone. Don't worry about the body when it gets sick or die, because there's no body, there's no you in the body. There's just the 4 elements separating.
So I what's the element? Or
If you cannot understand, then don't worry about it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Anura and Ramya from New Zealand.
Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you. So no question. So question about the elements, so just expanding. So where does the other 2 elements come in, Ajaan? The Vijnana and Akasa.
The other one is a space element. This is where you need space to exist, right? Without space, where can you exist? Where can the 4 elements exist if there's no space? Where?
Okay.
And even inside your body, there are some spaces, right?
Yeah.
Like in your nose, in the tube, the space inside. This is called space element.
And the Vijnana is a separate element.
This is the knowing element.
Knowing. Okay.
And this is in a different dimension, different world. It's in the spiritual world. The 5 elements are in the physical world. The space, the earth, water, fire, and wind elements, they are in the physical world. Why the mind is in the spiritual world, the knowing element. But the knowing element has this ability to connect to the four elements through vijnana. It's like a radio wave that you connect with through telephone. Right? When how do you connect with through mobile phone? You have radio signal. Same way with the mind connecting to the body. It sends the mental signal. The mental signal is called vijnana. The vijnana in the nama khanda. Vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana. This vijnana connect the mind, the knowing element to the five internal organs, the eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and body, so that it can then accept the external objects, the five sensual objects. Once the five sensual objects come into contact with the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body, then vijnana will send these objects, these signals to the mind. So the mind, the one who knows, will start to know, oh, there's images, there's sound coming in. Okay.
Yeah, okay, understood. Thank you.
Ajaan, sorry. Four elements come under rupa as well, isn't it?
It makes up the rupa. See. You need the four. Without the four elements, you cannot have the body. You have to have all four of them in order to be able to create a body. Human body or animal body, or even plants, trees, they all need four elements.
But they are the basic of four elements. They are not changing, isn't it?
Or they constantly.
Rupang anicca, but.
Or they're changing all the time. That's anicca. Anatta, they are natural phenomena. You cannot control. They are nature, they are work of nature. But our delusion wants to claim the body as something that belongs to you, belongs to me, and you can control it, but you cannot. You can control it partially, but not all the time. So when you get sick, you cannot control it anymore. You cannot make it well. When it dies, you cannot stop it from dying. See?
I mean, the big picture changing, but the basic doesn't, isn't it?
What do you mean by basic?
Basic like the electrons and protons, they are always there. I mean,
well, they form the body part.
Yeah.
But they constantly exchanging. They come in and they go out. Old one goes out, new one comes in to replace them. So you have constantly, you have four input of the four elements, and you also have the output of the four elements. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ajaan. Understood, yeah.
Next, Kafai Lim from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Ajaan. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, thank you. I have one question today. It's on about metta. If my understanding correctly, metta means loving kindness. Am I right?
Yes.
So the question is, how can we actually practice metta when deal with different kind of people, especially like random people? That there could be, some people are more friendly, some people are very, very different. So is it true that if we practice metta, it actually helps us to avoid all kind of unnecessary confrontation?
Yes, you treat everybody as your friend. But if they are friends, then you don't confront them. You accommodate them. You make them happy.
Okay.
If they need help, you give them help. If they did something wrong to you, you forgive them. So you don't consider them to be your enemy. Everybody is your friend.
Okay. Okay. Now I understand. So, so part of the practice is to make sure that to treat everyone fairly and also without being
Equally.
Okay.
In terms of kindness
in terms of kindness.
and love. You love everybody. You treat everybody kindly. You don't hurt them. If you help them, you make them happy if you can.
All right. All right. I understand now.
Okay,
Thank you so much, Dr. Ajaan.
you're welcome. Next, Philip from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Just to comment that you know, a lot of us here we talk and then we tell you about problems. You know, in reality, everyone actually has almost the same kind of problems. Like what Professor Kenneth was saying, right, about 2 weeks ago, I kind of had a similar situation and encounter with a person. I think that it was actually quite threatening and life-threatening. I think if it was my younger self or myself prior to all this practice, right, I would have reacted differently. But when the situation arises, right, it's just very assuring that I could have kept calm the whole time and not react. And in all honesty, the whole time, I actually felt compassion for the person that was actually hurling. And then I always remember Tan Ajaan said, these type of things you can't fight. You can't fight with the weather. You are just let it pass or just observe it. And true enough. I mean, the person I later found out had a lot of problems. I had a lot of problems. In fact, if you examine it, I examined it, right, of all the 5 precepts, right, I think he has broken all 4. I think with the exception of the first one, and that is why he was in this situation. And I felt actually compassion, even to extent that he was actually threatening me, my life, my family, and things like that. So I mean, this practice teaches you to have equanimity in this type of situation. If I was as I said, in another situation before practicing in this practice, I would have reacted differently. I'm just saying that it's where how you apply to it.
Yes, people who haven't studied or practiced Dhamma will react with emotion, with love, hate, fear, or delusion. But when you start to practice mindfulness and meditation, you can reduce this love, hate, fear, and delusion in your mind. And if you study wisdom, if you have wisdom, then you can permanently get rid of your delusion. Because instead of seeing people as people, you start to see people as natural forces.
I mean, and the other thing is that while we are getting at this, the 4 elements and things like that, earth, wind, water, fire, I think there are some literature outside there which I didn't put it into a more modern form of physics and things like that. I mean, it's quite interesting how close is it to modern physics. I mean, for the members which are interested in reading, there are a lot of literature outside there.
Okay, good.
But no questions tonight. But just to let you know that, I mean, this practice, if applied correctly in your real life, right, not just theoretically, you can overcome a lot. I mean, like for example, compassion and things like that. You don't react hatefully towards people which are hateful to you, want to harm you, or even to extent want to kill you, right?
Yeah.
You can remain calm. for this
The
world.
Buddha said hatred doesn't stop hatred. Only love that can stop hatred. So you have to give love instead of give hatred. When somebody hates you, you should not hate back. You have to show your love toward them. Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
All right.
Ajahn.
Next, Michelle Adelaide. Haven't seen you for a while. Where are you now?
Good evening, Ajaan. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Yeah. So you didn't see me for a long time because I haven't been able to walk for 1 year. I had a big infection on my last hip replacement, and I spent many time in the hospital. I had 3 surgeries, and now I'm back in my kuti, and I couldn't sit down because I was too weak, so I couldn't attend the Zoom. And now I am recuperating little by little, French, and sometime in meditation, when I was really too bad, I could just listen to in a continue episode on a tape recorder, and that was helping me a lot day and night. And they are talking about the difficult people, and I had also that problem because people I'm in the guest house where I have to be because I cannot be in the monastery actually, and I am inevitably a little bit dependent on people who have some personality disorder, I discover, and they are nice people, but communication is very, very difficult. This communication creates problems. So I made it a part of my practice to train metta, patience, no react, and try to find wise way to be able to stay in those conditions, because in a practical way, it's very difficult when people do not communicate because everything makes problem or is wrong. So as I can a choice, I have no control on the situation. I make it a part of my practice. Metta, mindfulness, patience.
Equanimity, patience, equanimity.
Equanimity. That's good.
Yeah, that's all you need. The Buddha said the 4 Brahma Vihara. Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Ubeka.
So it's a training. So I have no choice. I have to do what is on my control, and what is on my control is to take it as a practice and take that opportunity to practice those qualities. And also, well, I try to gain some strength so I can sit down longer and meditate. I didn't stop really to meditate, but my meditation were very bad because even chanting, I'm falling asleep, Terrible. So I do my best. But
As long as you don't have dukkha, then it's okay. If you cannot practice, it doesn't matter. The purpose of practicing is to prevent you from having dukkha. And if you have no dukkha, then there's no need to practice, really.
Well, I can't say I have no dukkha at all, but that will not be true. But I'm quite,
Because sometimes you cannot meditate because the condition of your body doesn't allow.
Terrible.
So if you want to do it, then you can create dukkha dukkha that arises out of your desire to meditate when you cannot do it.
Yeah, for that I put, in this case, I put itipiso, itipiso day and night.
Yeah, just chant instead.
No, I cannot chant. I don't have the strength to chant. I listen.
I see. Good enough. Listening to Dhamma. Okay. Chanting can be,
Chanting, I don't have the strength.
it's like developing mindfulness because you have to focus on what you listen to. This can calm your mind also.
And also it's a chant. Itipiso and Ratana Sutta are chant with, and Imina also are chant with what I resonate a lot, you know. They really touch me, and so it's very good for me to be with those chants.
Yes, just any way to keep your mind calm and peaceful. And no dukkha can arise if your mind is calm and peaceful. Okay, I hope you are getting better. How old are you now, may I ask?
72.
72. Okay. So you're actually younger than I am. I'm 76 now. But you seem to look a lot older than I am. But we cannot sometimes, cannot force the body to be the way we want it to be. Maybe because of our karma, we have different karma.
That
So
is really anatta.
yeah, it's anatta. But we try to do the best we can, look after it. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say or ask?
No, thank you, Ajaan.
Okay, good to see you.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we'll go to New York. Yeah. Wait, what's Steve? Is that your name? I forgot.
It's Mike.
Mike, okay. Mike Sheffield.
Ajaan.
Okay.
Really enjoying this talk this morning. I had a situation over the weekend where I was becoming stressed. We had some car trouble, and then I got a ticket for an inspection on my car. So just a lot of stressful moments had been building up. And I tried to, contain myself using mindfulness. But then as it turned out that my stress had seeped out and it entered my partner, my wife, and then she became even more stressed, even though it was not something that had given her much stress as it had given me, but it was almost as if my stress had like manifested outside of myself and, taken over her. And now she is completely stressed, because of money and because about, car troubles and things breaking down. So I guess I was just curious if Ajaan had any teachings or any words of wisdom from his teachers or from his life about, being able to make sure that when the stress does enter into our orbit, that we don't spread it to others, or if it does spread to others, some kind of useful strategy for how to, alleviate that within others.
Well, if you feel bad, what they call the rule is to stop saying anything or doing anything. Yeah. Don't engage with people. Because when you feel bad, you are engaged in a bad way. You say bad things. So if you know that you're feeling bad, then try not to engage. If you have to engage, you have to force yourself to smile and be nice and be kind. If you can force yourself to be nice and be kind, then you should excuse yourself and ask for some space. Say you're not feeling well and you need some space to calm down first. Explain to the person why you don't want to engage.
Definitely. I actually feel like part of it is like how I like my upbringing. And I had a Catholic mother who would worry constantly about things like involving money or involving things that she thought should be set. She had very, very high expectations for like like material possessions or like social status in the world. I think a lot of it comes from Catholicism. And so a lot of that, beyond, whether I wanted to or not, is kind of something I've taken on, internalized. And maybe it's probably, kind of an ancestral thing, like from her mother down to her and from her to me. I guess is there like any tips for dealing with that, or kind of like transferring it into my Buddhist practice?
Well, Buddha said that the four worldly things such as money, status, praises, and happiness, they are fickle. They're not permanent. They're not under your control. They can come and go anytime without warning you. So you have to prepare yourself for the changes when it happens. You can have money and suddenly you can lose a lot of money. You can have status and one day you might lose that status. You can have people praises you and the next day they can become critical of you. You can have happiness from things that you do, and then suddenly you, instead of getting happiness from what you do, you get dukkha, like you're driving your car, for instance, and get a ticket. So these are things that Buddha said want us to be prepared for the changes, that things can happen, things can go bad, let's put it that way. Things don't always go good. Things can go bad anytime, any day, anywhere. So don't be attached to just the good things. Be ready to take the bad thing as well. This is the way life works. And in order to be able to do this efficiently, you need to practice meditation. So your mind can become calm and less active to the changes that you have to go through. The meditation practice is a good tool to be able to help us deal with the changing situation, especially the unpleasant situation that we have to come across. But we have to accept it. The wisdom is to know that life is like this. Life is up and down, good and bad, sadness and happiness. They come in, they take turn showing themselves, and you cannot stop them. Just learn how to live with them when they come.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. Next, Intan from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan. I don't have questions.
Okay. Hope you enjoy your meditation.
Yeah. Next month I go to retreat for 1 week.
Okay, good. Next, we'll go to Sao Paulo with Alfredo. How are you, Alfredo?
Hi, Bante.
Are you good? Happy?
Good, yes.
Calm? Ubeka?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Beka.
good. No problem then.
Sati. More Sati.
Sati. Mindfulness.
Yes, yes.
Butto.
No, I don't practice Buddha. More Anapanasati.
Anapanasati. Okay.
Yes.
Good. As long as your mind stay calm and peaceful, then no problem.
Yes.
Okay.
This year is very changing my life this year.
Oh, really? What happened?
Yes. Yes, I change any things in my life.
It's anicca. Life is anicca, the Buddha say. three
Yes.
characteristics of existence. Three
Yes.
characteristics of life is anicca, dukkha, anatta. Life is changing, life is dukkha, life is anatta, not under your control.
Yes. Yes.
If you understand this, then you will have no dukkha. You just live with whatever you get. Be thankful for what you have and be happy with what you get, good or
Yes.
bad.
Knowing element is very, very weird. It's very, very intelligent.
Yeah, it needs the teaching of the Buddha to be intelligent. Without the teaching of the Buddha, it's very stupid.
Yes. Yes.
Okay?
Okay, Bante.
All right. Go to Singapore with Vince Chua. What now today? What is your question today? You have to unmute your microphone.
Okay. Good evening, Ajaan. Question. When we do sitting meditation and eyes meditation, when we are doing a day-to-day life, sitting meditation create a different level of peace within. It creates different level of peace within. So when we are engaging with the world, literally, we are bringing the same experience that we do in the sitting meditation, the vitakka, vichara, and create that peace and bliss in us. So literally, we are bringing the peace from the sitting meditation to the outside context, such that there's no, maybe it feels like there's no inside and outside. The peace within is like very balanced between your inside within you and outside the world. And it looks like it's automatic awareness. So my question is that feeling correct, or is that thought correct?
Well, if you're peaceful inside, then you'll be peaceful outside. If you're restless inside, you'll be restless outside. See, everything comes from your mind. All the action of your body comes from your mind. If you have a happy mind, you will have happy action. If you have a sad or angry mind, then you'll get an angry action coming out.
So it appears to me that awareness is, once we achieve that, awareness is automatic. It's called, I call it automatic awareness. But it seems to me awareness right now is like happiness, more like happiness when there's a knowing. Yeah, is that correct? I feel like it's happiness, or
you have happiness because you're not thinking anything. Your mind becomes still, becomes peaceful. But as soon as you start to think, your mind can be influenced by your defilements, and then your mind can become restless and agitated.
So then, in fact, when I'm contacting the world, I can maintain like second jhana or things like that with the joy and rapture, and my day will be very perfect unless I hit with something hard on me. Then I reset and go back to the sitting and come back again. Is that correct?
Yes, after you come out of meditation, you might be able to maintain what you have from meditation for a while, but it can disappear when you start to engage with people and things.
And so to speak, then we don't need to achieve very high jhanas, right?
Well,
one or two levels, that's enough.
The longer and stronger, the deeper, then the more peaceful the mind will be. See.
Okay. So can I conclude in the sense that if there's no knowing or there's no awareness, even Brahma Vihara is purely thought fabrication unless there's knowing?
What do you mean by knowing? Because knowing, if you mean mindfulness,
mindfulness or awareness, yeah. That means you're aware of what you're doing.
See, awareness, we all have awareness, but what we don't have is mindfulness to keep the awareness from generating thoughts and emotions. We need to have mindfulness to stop the mind from generating thoughts and emotion in order to keep the mind calm and
So,
peaceful.
okay. So Brahma Mihara can also be a thought fabrication, right? Unless there's mindfulness in it. That it comes from the right intention, right attention that you put on.
I don't know.
Okay. Exploring.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Just stop
Hmm.
thinking, control your thought, and you can control your emotions.
Yeah. I mean, meanwhile, I think I'm recollecting all the bliss that I have in the sitting meditation to reset any wrong,
You cannot recollect, and you have
wrongdoing
to.
or whatever.
You cannot recollect in the past. To bring into the present. You have to. You have to create in the present. You have to use mindfulness to create the new feeling, the new peace and equanimity. You cannot just think about the past equanimity and expect it to come into the present. You cannot do that.
Uh-huh. Oh, so that is wrong, and then we should be on the
You should create a new
and
equanimity
then
with
feel it in the
mindfulness
heart.
in the present.
Okay. Then that is clear.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
That's why you have to be constantly mindful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only constant thing in the world.
If you can do it.
Yeah, understand.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Next, go to Colorado to Julia. Hi, Julia. How are you? สวัสดีค่ะ สวัสดีครับ
ค่ะอาจารย์
How are you? Are you practicing?
Yes, I did some online very deep practice where I live, and then now it's a little bit lighter, and I'm going to go for 2 weeks. A friend is sponsoring me to go meditate at a center for 2 weeks.
That's good.
Yeah, and mostly I came to pay respects, but also after sitting more deeply, I thought that my mind maybe had opened more, but we're having some unexpected electrical problems where I live, and so I noticed that there was a little bit of wanting to get the electricity fixed. And I refrained from speaking about wanting to get it fixed. And then there's been some more insight about how to fix the problem. So it's a worldly, it's a lokadhamma.
Lokadhamma, yes. It's anicca. Lokadhamma is anicca. It's constantly changing from bad to good, from good to bad, back and forth.
Yeah.
So when you don't have electricity, you just learn to live without it for a while anyway, until you get it fixed. When you don't have it fixed, don't get stressed from it. Just learn to live learn to live without electricity for a while, until when you eventually can get it fixed. Then there will be no dukkha.
Yeah, no dukkha. It felt kind of nice, actually. Like the refrigerator wasn't going to keep the food cold, and I couldn't cook anything, so that was very nice. And there was something I could feel in my body, like just it felt very calm in the dwelling. And then when I would go out and borrow like a cord or something to the neighbors, then I would be intentional to go out and do that and then come back. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah.
It means you still want to have electricity.
I want to watch Ajaan on the Zoom.
It can be dukkha if you cannot do what you wanted to do.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But if you can do it, fine. But it's better to learn to live without anything, to live with emptiness. That's the supreme goal of practice, is to be able to exist without having anything to keep you happy, to make you happy. Nibbanang palamang sunyang. Nibbana is the supreme emptiness. Empty of everything. It can exist alone by itself and be happy. Nibbanang palamang sukhang.
Sunyang. Sukhang che, sunyang che.
Yeah. So in order to do that, you have to stop all your wanting, all your desire, all your cravings.
Okay.
And to do that, you need to meditate and develop wisdom to see everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Okay, in progress.
Okay, good. Give it up. All right.
Okay, respect.
Good luck to you.
Okay.
Next,
Good.
Pial and Dr. Indira from Toronto.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Ajaan.
What can I do for you today?
I have a question, Ajaan. I was listening to Professor Kin, and I'm so grateful to him for sharing that. And I wanted to ask you now, when somebody, like sometimes we don't see eye to eye with people, and people, they're very they get angry, and there are people like this in this world. Maybe they don't practice metta the way we do and Dhamma. So, but the thing is, you can forgive them, but reconciliation, to meet them, talk to them, I feel it's optional, because Buddha said parivarjana pahatabba, like that is certain people by avoidance that you can reduce your ashra. So is that a way to by avoidance, is that okay if you cannot still, you've forgiven them, but you're not ready to endure, like go through whatever that person is putting you through?
No,
Ajaan?
Buddha said you can choose people that you want to get to know with. Yeah. Asevana jabalanang banditanang jasevana. Only associate with the wise and stay away from the foolish.
Yes.
So you have a choice. You can either want to meet them, or you don't have to meet them. But if under some circumstances in which you might have to meet them, then you have to use equanimity or metta to deal with them.
Yeah.
But if you have a choice that you can not see them, then you just take that choice.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, I prefer to do that.
But sometimes you don't have a choice. If it's somebody close to your family,
Yes.
somebody,
Yes, that's true.
especially someone sitting next to you. If it turns into something that you don't like, what are you gonna do?
Thank you, Tana.
Yeah, it's hard to avoid me.
Because we never know, people can change anytime, right?
Yes.
Anicca. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I guess with your endurance is not strong enough, or your sensory restraints are not strong enough, the best thing is the next step is to avoid. But if you can endure, you have good sensory restraints,
you have patience, you have
patience,
then you can meet anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tanajan, the thing is, patience is one thing, but some people have a way of like hurting you by what they say.
Nobody hurts, only you hurt yourself.
Yes,
Right, no one can really hurt you. You're one who are hurting yourself from your being impatient, being selective. If you're not selective, you're not impatient, then you can meet anybody, deal with anybody.
That's true.
So dukkha is a result of your own actions, your own thoughts, not someone else's.
Your own defilement, your defilement, your love, hate, fear, and delusion causing your dukkha.
So if you see that way, you should be able to kind of get out of it also at the end, because when you blame it on someone, then you can't fix it, right? If you know it's your issue, you should be able to fix it. Yeah.
Because the problem is in you, not the person. You want to change the person. This is the problem. If you don't want to change a person, then there will be no problem, right?
That's true. You can wish that person to change the correct conditions and
Doing
with
metta to that
metta,
person.
but you can't really do it for them. You can only wish.
Yeah, don't have any desire for changing anybody or anything. If you cannot change, if you can change, then you can do it. Sometimes you can change things, but sometimes you cannot.
If there is no solution, it's not a problem anymore.
Well, the problem comes from your desire to solve solve the problem. If you accept the problem, then there will be no problem.
That's
good.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Yeah. I just was asked the theme today. I think the most theme came up with the 4 elements. Interesting. A lot of people talk about the 4 elements or the 6 basic elements.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think there is in the Patisambhida Pali, there's one way. It's a small text. They're saying practice called Shayanupassana. It's like a practicing imagining dissolution of these elements of your own mind, your body dying, dissolution, and become part of the earth. Your heat or gas gets to the air. So I think it can be combined with Marananusati, maybe dissolution of the 4 elements, joining the natural elements. It's called Kayanupassana, not Shan. Yes, something like a breaking into parts and joining, because it's coming from there, the elements, right, from the nature, and it's going back to the nature.
Yes, it contains in the 4 foundation of mindfulness. When you investigate the nature of the body, the Buddha say investigate the body as the 4 elements.
I mean, there is also interesting metaphor Buddha gives. The one person was given 4 snakes, poisonous snakes, to look after, and he doesn't know they are poisonous. You bathe them, to feed them. Eventually, a friend comes and say, "Oh, don't be fooled. They are going to bite you." And he gets the message. He runs away. I think there are lots of in between metaphors. Eventually, he finds a stream. You make a raft and cross over, like the Eightfold Path is a raft. So the 4 snakes, the poisonous snakes, are the 4 elements. So eventually it's going to bite you. So it's called Asi Visopama Sutra. I think it's very beautiful metaphor.
Yeah, okay. The body gonna hurt you one day when you get old, get sick, and die. Because you won't be able to do anything according to your wishes anymore.
However much you feed, bathe, clean, good, it's going to hurt you.
Yes, unless you have a different way of having happiness. If you can have happiness from meditation, then the body will not hurt you anymore, because you have a draft. You get on the draft and you're on the opposite shore.
Yeah, that's the metaphor. So I mean, it's important to look after the body too, but because the mind can get disturbed if you don't look after it, right? If you get sick or you get some sort of a terminal illness, your mind, unless you've done before the practice, and then the mind gets sick, you can let go. But if you have not done the mental practice, the mind gets sick. I mean, you just try to practice mentally. It's a bit hard when you're sick already. It's a bit too late, but can try. But
well, it depends on which level of practice you're in. If you're on the vipassana level, you might take sickness as a test, and you need to pass the test. You have to be able to transcend the sickness itself. then sickness
So-
can be a good thing for
A good thing, like a teacher.
like a
Yeah.
teacher, like an examination that you have to take.
Exam, final exam.
Yeah.
It's a final exam.
Yeah. So sickness and death can be good if you are ready
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
But if
Okay.
you're not ready for it, then it's not good.
Not good. So when you talk about the elements, it's a totally a vipassana area, not samatha. So you mustn't confuse with the anapanasati breath meditation. Breath
That's
meditation
right.
is samatha. So
That's right.
there are two.
People are confused. We're talking about vipassana and samatha.
The vipassana techniques, there's so many 40 different ones in the Visuddhimagga. It comes also time and time again, the Kasina in Sutra. But the Buddha mostly emphasized in the Sutra, the main theme is Anapanasati, the breath. Why is that? Because it's the easiest, easily available for you. Just it's already there.
I think so. It's already there. It's everybody breathe anyway. Everybody breathe. So somebody said once that if you can breathe, you can meditate.
I think Ajaan Shah.
Ajaan Shah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there's time to breathe, there's time to meditate.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your input. Okay.
Thank you. You're
Next,
welcome.
Solanji from Sri Lanka. Your sister came by the other day and we had a little talk.
Yeah, she told me. Yeah.
Okay.
She said that it was lovely meeting you and she got a chance to talk to you in person. Yeah. She's very
Okay.
happy about that. Yeah.
Is she back in Sri Lanka now or she's still in Thailand?
She's coming today.
She's coming today.
Yeah. this evening.
Okay. Can I help you today?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions today. Like, I just want to ask, in old age, some old people may experience memory loss, making it difficult for them to comprehend the Dhamma. Their memory is less reliable, with recollections coming and going unpredictably. If a person in this state passes away, Ajaan, it's uncertain whether they'll attain a good birth, right?
Not necessarily. Your memory isn't the factor that will cause you to have a good or bad birth. What will cause you to have a good or bad birth is your karma, your accumulation of your good or bad karma. So as long as your accumulation of karma, good karma is more than your bad karma, you will have a good birth. Even when you die, you might lose some memory or something like that.
I thought we should help them with by letting them listen to more Dhamma talks and all. Could you advise me how to help such older people to concentrate more on Dhamma? I mean, if their bad karma is more than, yeah.
It can be a little bit helpful, but not much, because the determining factors are the accumulation of your good or bad karma that you have done throughout your lifetime, which is a lot more than what you can do by listening to Dhamma talk at the end of your life.
That means talking to them Dhamma won't do them that much of good, no?
It does some good, but not
Does, but not
but it
much,
doesn't
okay.
change the path of your birth, of your rebirth. Unless if the Buddha taught Dhamma to you and then make you become enlightened, then that can change the course of your rebirth.
Yeah, because I have an aunt, I think she suffers from dementia. Like she's talking unnecessary things, and like sometimes even if you try to explain her some Dhamma matter, like she was a deeply religious person earlier, but maybe towards now she's rapidly losing her memory. So I thought, like, I'm a bit worried about her. Ajaan, I was thinking as to how we should help her.
It's too late,
Like,
too late,
it's
too late. You have to do it when she's still strong and still have good memory. But when she loses memory, she cannot appreciate or understand what you are trying to give her.
Even Pirit chanting, Parita chanting will not help, no? Making her hear.
Very little, I think.
Then my second question is, according to the Buddha, we should be able to control our mind more than anything, whatever others do to us, like we should be able to control our mind. Otherwise, if you are...
The Buddha said you should do it when you're young and strong.
Okay.
not when you're old and weak.
Yeah.
That's why the Buddha constantly asks us to remind ourselves that we're going to get old, get sick, and die. And when that time comes, we won't be able to do anything significantly. So the time for us is to do it now.
Sometimes due to family commitments, some mothers, they won't get the time to do it.
And that's too bad. And that's too bad. When they get the time, they won't be able to do it anymore. That's the sad fact of life. When you have the time, you don't want to do it. When you don't have the time, you want to do it.
True. Very true.
Mhm.
My second question is now, according to Buddha, we should be able to control our mind. Otherwise, we are being controlled by others. Sometimes for the slightest matter, we may lose temper. It's as if we have no control over our thoughts or action. However, this is the hardest thing to practice, Ajaan. Like we can't, most of the times we can't control our emotions. Like we tend to react to what other people say or do to us. What's the Buddha's advice? How to remain calm despite adversity, like despite outside happenings?
You have to have strong mindfulness, and you also have to have wisdom to understand the nature of things that you are involved with. If you have both mindfulness and wisdom, you can control your mind to remain calm without reacting to anything, any situation.
We have to develop mindfulness through meditation, but however much we do it, sometimes we find it very difficult to stick to practice it actually.
Because you're not putting your meditation practice as a priority. You have some other priorities, so you give very little time to your practice of meditation. If you like me, I give 100% of my time for meditation, then you can get a lot from meditation that way. But if you only give it 10% of your time for meditation, then you'll find that you're not getting much from your meditation. It's the time that you have for your meditation that matters.
Because first now we have to go to office, then we give priority to those matters, then like we get a little time only to do our meditation practices. That's what you mean, Ajaan?
So you have to know what you want. If you want peace and calm for meditation, then you have to give the time for your meditation. Give more time for your meditation. But you want to give priority to your family, your husband, your wife, or your children, then you won't have time to give for your meditation.
So, but those like if you have to look after an elderly mother or parents or some elder, then we can't neglect them also. We can't just ignore their pleas or whatever.
Then you have to wait until they pass away, and then when you're free, then you can commit yourself to meditation full time.
Okay. I have 3 more questions. Can I ask?
Yes, go ahead.
Can a Sotapanna decide on his or her next birth, Ajaan? I mean, where he or she is to be born? A Sotapanna, I mean.
A Sotapanna can stop being born in the lower realms of existence, such as being animals or being hungry ghosts. The Sotapanna can prevent. But I don't think he can choose whether he can be born as a king or princess or as a, that's up to his karma.
Okay. Or in a Brahma world or Deva world? Can he?
Oh no, he will come back as a human because he still has sensual desire. He still wants to have a wife.
He can be born in a, okay, he can be born in a Brahma world, then he can come back to the human world, is that?
If he goes to the Brahma world, it means he finds peace and happiness from meditation. So when he reborn as a human, he will probably become a monk or nun again.
Okay. Okay. Actually, the next question is further to my question to you last week, Ajaan. You said meditation is a must to become enlightened in this birth, unless you have the practice from your previous birth. How about becoming a Sotapanna, Ajaan? can we become Sotapanna without doing deep meditation?
If you already have equanimity, yes, then you don't need to meditate, because you need equanimity to resist your cravings, your desire for not getting old, getting sick, or die. If you can overcome this desire or this craving for not getting sick or getting old, then you can become a Sotapanna.
Then to become an enlightened this birth itself, then we should do deep meditation, and once you said we should not react to anything, whatever happens to us, we should not react.
If you have deep meditation, then you won't react to anything.
Okay.
But if you don't have, then you will usually react when you get painful feeling or when you feel that you have to die. You will react strongly against this situation. But if you have equanimity and you have wisdom to teach you not to react, because reacting will only cause you suffering, then you can stop. Then you can stop reacting.
However much we try, Ajaan, we find it very difficult not to react.
It means you don't have
Sometimes.
enough equanimity. So you have to start, do more meditation practice.
Can we come to your monastery and do deep meditation maybe for a few months and then go back? Is it allowed?
Unfortunately, we only have place for people to stay maximum of maybe 2 weeks
2
at a
weeks,
time.
okay.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks we can stay.
Yes.
Okay. So is there a person, will you guide us? Is there a...
No, usually it's a self-meditation, self-retreat. You have to already know what you want to do to come to this type of retreat. The retreat just provide you a quiet place to be alone, and then practice mindfulness and wisdom and meditation.
We have to do it on our own.
Yes, you
We
have
should
to
have
do
some.
it. You have to already know what to do and already have been doing it, so that when you come, then you know what to do, not sitting there wondering, what am I going to do?
Okay. Yeah. We can't seek advice, no? We can't get some advice like...
Yes, you can always come into
Come
my Zoom
okay.
room anytime you like. Every
Yes.
Tuesday we have this meeting.
Okay. And thank you, Tanajan. And my next question is, now our present is made by our past karma. And I want to know, to what extent can we change our past karma by changing our present behavior?
We cannot change the past. The past determines our present. But we can change the future by changing our habit in the present. If we do something bad, we can stop doing that. Like if we like to drink alcohol, we can stop drinking alcohol, and then we can change our future. But we cannot go back and change the past. The past is already gone. We can do the present to prepare for the future, to change the future.
Now, Tanajan, being mindful is stopping a monkey mind, no, taming a monkey mind. Basically, that's what you mean by being mindful. Right?
Being mindful. Once you can control your mind, you can control your habit, your action. You can change your habit, your action. If you have mindfulness and wisdom to tell you that it's not good to have this type of habit, then you can stop it.
And how should I do metta meditation? We have to bestow metta on ourselves first, then on our loved ones, then on enemies, like that. That's how I do it.
When you have to deal with people, you should learn, you should use metta, use friendliness or kindness. Be nice, be kind to people, even though you might not like them or they might not like you. But if you have to engage with them, try to use metta. Try to be friendly, try to be kind. Try to be forgiving if they do something wrong.
My last question is, Tanajan, can you explain the meaning of anatta? Because
No
I
self,
have read...
no self, there's no self. The concept of a self is delusional, see? Because everything is work of nature.
Okay, it's that no body, like we have...
Right.
What do you mean by no self?
You, me, there's no you and me really. It's just a thinking about you and me that creates the illusion of a self. We think we are something, we are a person, but actually it's just a thinking. It's not, it's just a concept we create in our mind. And we strongly believe in it to become true.
The mind exists, not a body. Like
The body is a knowing element, the mind is a knowing element. See? While the body is a composition of the four elements. And they are natural forces. They are natural, they are all work of nature.
that's all I have for today. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Nice talking to you.
Come back and ask more questions
we
when you
will.
like, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, next we'll go to Aparachita from Dubai.
Good
Hi.
evening,
How are
Ajaan.
you?
I'm well, and just listening to the theme of the day, more or less. I just wanted to share a small little incident which sort of expressed this whole thing of up and down samsara very clearly. So in my balcony, there's a wind chime, and it had a kind of bird house. So this little bird actually was suddenly nested there, which was very beautiful. And it was only day before yesterday, like we saw that there was a baby bird, and the mommy bird and the daddy bird came to feed it. And but then again, in Dubai, which doesn't have much rain, we've had very strong storms. And of course, it was outside, and this is nature. And though I understand, and I'm okay with that, but I'm just saying that life is like that, and it's everywhere to see.
Yes, life is anicca, constantly changing. Anatta, not under anybody's power to change or to control it.
Yes. And yet, I suppose in some respect, though, like everybody said, like, you know, through this learning of Dhamma from you, at one level, yes, I feel a little tender. However, knowing it is an animal birth, in some way, I feel like it was good that it brought people joy, and maybe we are listening to the story, and it's giving us a Dhamma lesson. So may it rejoice and be born in a better place. That's all.
Well, you can look at it that way if you like, if it makes you feel better.
Yeah, but it is, for me, yes, I agree that probably just making it
But
not see.
if you see there's no self in the bird, then you might feel better that way. You just see the four element in the bird, in the body of the bird.
Yes, I suppose so. Yes.
So you have to look with wisdom that there's no self in anything. No self in the bird, no self in your body or my body. It's just all the working of the four elements coming together and separating. So there's nothing to be sad about. It's like you're watching the clouds changing into rain, and then the rain comes down and form rivers and streams and runs into the ocean. Then it gets heats up by the sun, and then it evaporates and become clouds again. So this is just the process of nature. Everything keeps changing from one thing to another.
Correct. That's true. That is true.
Okay. And the reason for you to be able, and the way for you to be able to see these things calmly, you need to meditate to get to equanimity. Once you have equanimity, then you can look at things calmly. You won't be affected by the dissolution of things, because you know this is just the way things work. This is the way of nature. And nobody dies. Nobody. It's just combination and dissolution of the four elements. While the fifth element, the knowing element, that will just go and reconnect to a new four element, to a new body again. Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan.
You're welcome. Next, Belinda from Singapore. Hi, Belinda.
Hello, Ajaan. Just continue with what Apalaji shared. Recently, there's this bird that kept coming to the house, and then I was sleeping, not yet asleep, but it just flew right above my face.
Mm.
And then it was looking at me. So it's very consoling that when Ajahn say the four elements just change, just taking to different form. So these birds, yeah, because I saw a lama, a Rinpoche, and then I mentioned that I dreamt of my father the recent past, and then he just mentioned, maybe your father is back in samsara. He just mentioned like that. So when he's back in samsara, it can be animal form or different form, Ajahn. So when I saw that, but it was my father's death anniversary. Yeah. So, and then I just felt there was link. So listening to this Dhamma is quite consoling to know that the four elements changes. When I listen to Aparaji, I do feel yes, ups and downs. So thank you. I'm happy to listen.
Our problem is we look at the four elements as being people. We look at the water as being people. We're looking at the earth as being people. When they're just elements, they're just people. They're just forming body. But there's no people in that body. No you, me, or anybody in that body. They are just four elements. 32 parts. If you break down the 32 parts, you won't find yourself in the body, right? Can you find yourself in the body? If you separate all the parts of the body out, each part, and ask yourself, am I the hair? Am I the skin? Am I the teeth? Am I the skeleton? Am I the lung? Am I whatever? And the answer will say, no, there's no you in this body. It's your deception, it's your delusion that creates this concept of self in the body. Simply because you take possession of this body, simply because you can control and tell the body what to do, then you automatically assume that this body is you.
Last week, as a Lompo Tongso, he's in his 80s. He visited us in Palelai. And also Ajahn Kusalo is from New Zealand, Ajahn Chah's disciple. Yes, and they say that our body comes from our parents. And when we bring our body to holy places, we are taking these four elements and repay our kindness, repay our filial piety towards them too. So I feel that this brings a motivation to like go for a retreat, like, and taking to treasure this body, to bring to do good deeds.
Okay.
So,
yes.
So like sometimes life, like we can't have things how we like them to be, but when we bring our body to do good deeds, like Lompo Tongso give a Dhamma talk, we're actually taking our father's and mother's body, the elements, we get this gift from the parents, and when we do dana and all the good deeds, we are repaying the parents. So So I feel that this will be helpful as a motivation to practice, hopefully.
Not really. I think this is not the right way. The right way to look at paying back your debt to your parents. The way to pay back your debt is to look after them, take care of them. They took care of you before, and now it's your turn to take care of them. This is the way to pay your debt, to show your gratefulness. Not to go practice Dhamma and say, I'm doing this for my parents. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for yourself.
So when I start feeding birds and all, because before my father's passing, he said that he thinks because he had done some bad karma, and he thinks that he will turn into a bird. And when, to console him, I said, if in case you turn into a bird, you can look for me, and I will give you a treat. I will give you food. I said, so I know that it's past. We keep moving, Ajaan. There are a lot of links. So every living beings that we meet, I try to feed them or do good and be kind. If I can help, I help. If we can't help, like Aparaji said, certain condition that we can't do anything, but to practice. So Ajaan, I heed your advice. The very first time when you advised me, we keep a precept for ourselves. I'm still learning. I'm still learning on that. Like how much the balance, like how much to be independent and how much to be interdependent. I'm still finding that balance.
Okay. Just keep on practicing. Eventually you'll find the right balance. Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan.
All right. Dr. Sri and Chep from Vancouver, Toronto, Canada.
Greetings, Canada.
Hello.
A lot of people waiting today. I saw Rose, a long time friend, Rose.
Already.
And I'd like to give time to if it's okay.
Okay. So you want to give up your
Time to Rose, maybe, or other people too. I
okay.
think.
Next to
Thank
you will
Ajaan.
be okay. I'll
Yeah.
go to John now. Hi John, where are you from? This is your first time here?
Hello, Ajaan. No, I've been here a couple of years ago, but I've been practicing letting go of a lot of things. But I listen a lot. Thank you for all your teaching and all the Dharma students for all of their experiences. I listen to something, I get frustrated. I'll go away and then slowly find out that frustration is linked to an attachment. And then once I work on the attachment, I start letting go. I find that the attachment is linked to, I think that it's a leaf. The leaf turns into a tree. The tree turns into a forest. And it takes a long time to chop down the forest. So firstly, I'd like to say Happy New Year to you, Ajaan, and I apologize for all my unwholesome mind action, unwholesome verbal action, unwholesome body action in this life and every life. I apologize for all of that. Yes.
Okay, the proper way is to not repeat the same mistake again.
Yes. I'm trying. I have a argumentative mind. It likes to, it'll argue with a rock.
When you apologize, when you accept that you did something wrong.
Yes.
And then you want to correct that. You don't want to repeat the same mistake again.
Yes.
That's the purpose for apologizing.
Correct. Understanding that, yes, I have done things wrong. I do think wrong. I do speak wrong. I do act wrong. And
I will not repeat it again.
I will not repeat it again. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay.
I have a question for you. In the last week and 2 weeks, in your talks, both here and in live at the temple, you've expressed about you need to become an arahant first, and then you can understand and be able to use the spiritual powers, which I 100% agree with. But there's a bit of a conflict for me to understand. If you become a Sotapanna and up 7 lives, you become an Arahant. Did Lord Mahabua ever discuss the Utapum line? Because I just wanted to understand, for someone that's in that line, can you become an Arahant and continue, or is it better not to become a Sotapanna?
Oh no, you should become a Sotapanna, because then you're guaranteed that you'll get to Nibbana quickly.
But that's not the Putapum line.
See, Putapum line can mean you can wait for another 10,000 lives or 10
Yes.
million lives before
Yes.
you become enlightened. So
Yes.
that's a long, long way to go. And you take that option only because when there is no teaching of the Buddha around to guide you. But
Or
once
if
you
you're
have,
just a stubborn boy and you want to become a Buddha.
yeah, that's up to you. But if you have someone to lead you the way, why try the way yourself when you're blind? When you're blind and you have somebody who have good eyesight to take you, to show you the way. If you want to go by yourself, it's up to you. If you follow someone who has had good eyesight, then you can get to where you want very quickly. That's why
Yes,
a lot of
that's
people
true.
who have this stubbornness of wanting to become the Buddha eventually give up. I think Ajaan was one of them. I think he
Yes.
also had this stubbornness.
Yes.
But he eventually realized that it's stupid. So he stopped his desire to become a Buddha and then practiced more to become an Arahant instead.
Yes, that is correct.
Follow the Noble Eightfold Path.
Yes, I have assumed that by understanding from reading the books of Lanta Mahabua. But then again, because of his stubbornness and doing all the things he'd done in previous lives, we had his teaching and Lanta Mahabua's teaching and your teaching. If he didn't do that, then there wouldn't have been this line of Arahants. So, there are purposes, there are positives to certain things. And if you're stubborn and silly enough and crazy enough to do certain things, like doctors, we have doctors here, they went and studied for 7 years, and how much heartache to help people. They could have gone to Lanta Mahabua and become Arahants in the 7 years or 10 years or 15 years. But for some reason, they decided that path. So there was no real teaching about there's no real teaching about if someone's on that path, you should not, or you should, or how does it work?
It's a personal choice. And that person will have to be the one to decide which path he wants to take. If you have a choice to make.
Okay, but there's no Sotapanna, if you do this, then
And
you
once you're
can't go back. You can't go back.
Sotapanna, you're guaranteed to become an Arahant within this lifetime. But if something should happen to you before you became an Arahant, maybe you have an accident and you die, then you still have 7 more lives to come back and finish your job.
So that makes sense why there's so many people in the suttas that they're either drunks or gamblers or they do something, but yet once they speak to the Buddha, they become arahants because
That's right. They
they're
can
choosing
switch
not
right
to be
away.
Sotapannas. They're choosing not to be Sotapannas. Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Okay.
Thank you. One more question about lust. If you're not a Sotapanna, but can you get rid of lust altogether, or you have to go through Sotapanna all the way up to Anagami to be able to get rid of lust?
Yes, because you need to be able to see the body all time as being asubha, not attractive. And in order to have this, you have to have strong mindfulness and continuous wisdom. So usually it requires much more effort than becoming a Sotapanna. Sotapanna can get rid of the fear of death and fear of sickness, but he still cannot get rid of of lust. He needs stronger mindfulness and more contemplation on asubha, on the asubha nature of the body, before he will be able to stop lust entirely, completely.
Yes, yes. Lust can be suppressed. It's been suppressed. That's not the problem. But as anger goes, happiness comes up, and as happiness comes up, you see things differently, and there's more metta, and there's lust still there. So
Yes, the lust will only go away when you see asubha, when you see the unpleasant parts of the body.
yeah, okay, that's not difficult. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Tanaja.
All right. Where are you staying in Thailand, or you back somewhere?
Right now, I'm in Sydney.
Oh, Sydney.
But
Okay.
I've spent some time in Thailand. I went to Mechi Khao.
see.
Oh, fantastic. I loved her book too. I love how Lanta Mahabua screamed at her at the end. She was crying.
Did you stay at her monastery when you were there?
No,
Or
I wanted
just
to.
visited.
Just visited. Just visited. Very good experience.
Were there many mechis there when you went there?
The perfect thing for me is when I went there, no one was there. So everyone was in their kutis. It was during the day. I just got to sit there and experience that. It's good. I went to see Lonta Mahabua, Lonpo Man's
Museum.
Yes. Funny enough, when I went there, the Mechi told me to go to the other museum. Well, I forget, Lompo Lee. Is it Lompo? No. In the same
area,
temple.
in the same area.
In the same temple, one side is Lompo Man and the other side's another Ajaan.
Ajaan Lee.
I don't think it's Ajaan Lee.
Ajaan Sao, his teacher.
In Nakhon Sawan.
Nakhon Sawan.
Where he was buried, where he died, in that temple, there's one of his students. In Lompo Man's museum, that was quite quiet, but the other museum, Mechi said, go to that one first, and I felt something nice there. Lompo Vidyang.
Lompo Vidyang.
Yes, I think he's as stubborn as me. Yeah, but anyway, thank you very much, Ajaan. Thank you for expressing that, and thank you to all your students. Thank you for all your teachings over the time.
Okay, thank you for coming in. Come back again.
Yes, bye-bye.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Stephanie. Where are you from, Stephanie? Can you unmute your microphone? Can you hear me? Stephanie, you seem to freeze the screen. You're not moving. Okay, now you can talk now.
Sorry, hi. Slow internet. The coast of Oregon, Depot Bay.
Yes. Last week you were in here.
Yes. How do I address you respectfully?
Oh, and say Ajaan Suchart is good enough.
Just say Ajaan Suchart. Okay. I just want to just give my respect and say thank you.
Okay. Hope you enjoy our conversation.
Love it. Yes.
Okay, good. I'll go to Rose now. Rose from Florida and her husband. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name.
Greetings from Florida, Tanajan.
Yes, good to
My
see
name is
you.
Krishna.
Krishna.
Good to see you. And
Okay.
I was happy to meet with you 1 month ago and
Yes.
enjoyed my brief visit with you. And also happy to meet with the students at the school you run and also interacted with the teachers and the students. Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome. Is there
Yes,
anything
yes.
you'd like to say today? Ask or anything?
And I'm very happy that to listen to you and enjoy your discussions and discourses. Thank you.
Okay. How about you, Rose? You have anything to say? You're quiet today.
I just want to say thank you, Tanajan.
Thank you for this beautiful Dharma that is arising day by day, greater and greater in our hearts. And especially Krishna has been very supportive to my 8 vows practice, basic living as a lay mechi here in Florida. So I want to say thank you to Krishna and to you. Otherwise, I couldn't make it.
You're welcome. You can be mercy anywhere in the world. All you have to do is just maintain the 8 precepts.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the books you offered me. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Well, we'll go to Facebook and YouTube and Gmail for more questions. Kun Juk.
Namaskaran ka. This evening we have 8 questions so far. The first question is from the assistant Gmail, and it's from Sam from Australia. How to apply metta and avoid aversion when we are facing foolish people, which under circumstances we can't avoid?
Well, you just have to practice before you meet them. Say, try to learn to smile when you have to face somebody you don't like. So you have to train yourself in metta first before you get to see them. If you don't, then when you see them, you might not be able to show metta. So this is something you have to practice beforehand. Try to practice every day, thinking about metta.
The next 7 questions are from Facebook. The first one is from meditamus.uy. On February 19th, 2025, are there plans for a festivity? We would like to be there. Thank you. Greetings from Uruguay. Satu.
Next year, I don't know, I'll still be alive next year, so I cannot give you an answer in this question.
The next question is from C. Ratana. Am I correct that Ajaan have just said that Sotapanna will be born as a monk or nun?
No, I didn't say that. I mean, if you enter into jhana, then it's likely that you were a monk or a nun. So in your next life, when you return, you probably become a monk or a nun. I didn't say Sotapanna. Yeah.
The next question is from Metta Vandana. Ajaan, how come Ankuliman became an arahant in his present life if he still had a lot of bad karma by killing people? Does it mean you can erase any bad karma by practicing meditation and cultivating compassion in the present life?
No, you could not erase your past karma, but you can prevent your past karma from taking place, the consequence of your past karma from taking place, because you will enter into Nibbana before your past karma can come after you, see, if you become an arahant. And the reason why he became an arahant, because he has somebody like the Buddha to tell him that what he did was wrong and he should do the other thing. Instead of killing people, the Buddha said you should kill your defilement instead. So he turned back, changed the object of his killing from people to his defilement. So when he got rid of all the defilement, he became an arahant. So when he died, he would not be reborn again. So all his past karma, bad karma, will not be able to affect or hurt him anymore.
The next question is from Vero Linda. Ajaan, how do we know if we have achieved the Sotapanna level?
Well, it means that you're not afraid of sickness or death. If you go to the hospital and the doctor say you got terminal cancer, and they say, so what?
The last 3 questions are from Pauline Soon. Can Ajaan say the factors or the reasons why meditation practice cannot progress?
Because you don't do it. If you keep doing it, you'll progress. If you just keep talking about it, you'll never progress in your meditation. You have to do it.
And how to motivate ourselves to practice more meditation?
Stay with people who practice meditation.
And the last question is, do our existence paramita help us in practice meditation?
Yes, because if you used to practice meditation in your past life, then you'll find it easy to do it in this lifetime.
That is all, Ka.
Okay. Well, that is all the time we have for today. So I would like to thank you all of you for your company, and I hope this meeting is fruitful and helpful to your practice and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you,
Thank
Ajahn.
you,
Thank you, Amin.
Thank you, Amin. Good night,
Goodbye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye. Goodbye.
Good night. Thank you.